Being a Stanford student, I'm surrounded by the startup scene and all these people trying to create amazing things. And the people that invest in startups are called VC firms or venture capital. There is a strategy that they use that you can directly apply to your own life. And it's really called the VC mindset. What is the VC mindset? It's the idea that they don't know the right answer, but by spreading out and putting out enough chances out there, they will hit the right thing. What do I mean? For example, let's say they want to invest in a certain company, but they don't know which company is going to be the one that's really going to go super successful, make lots of money. So as a result, what they do is they try to limit the number of companies they, invest in, but have a wide range of different companies, diversify. But they're more concerned with actually missing an opportunity than they are with failing, because the way that VC firms work is they are used to failing so much. Because think about it, startups have a 99% fail rate. And I'm really trying to draw this as a huge analogy to success, because success will have a 99% fail rate, except you will be able to improve your chances over time. But it's just that in the beginning, you will just fail on again and again and again and again. And instead of beating yourself down on that, understand that's part of the process and actually focus on one thing, on having the same mindset. Be like, okay, how many different chances and opportunities can I give myself to try to succeed? Don't worry about how many of them you're just failing, because each time you fail, you're not going back to zero. This is something nobody understands. When you fail, you don't just go back to zero. You go back to a higher level than you were when you began. Yes, you didn't achieve success, but you still have this experience now of what doesn't work, what you can improve on, maybe what your skill set is lacking. Super valuable information. But back to this VC mindset, it's like you want to work on the opportunities that you are well positioned for and things that you think can lead you towards success and personal growth. And if you can do as many of those things as possible, we don't want to spread ourselves too thin, but imagine if you can do, let's say, 2 to 3 different things, whereas other people are just focusing on one. When you do these 2 to 3 other things, you increase your chances of one, learning so much more and growing so much more. And also, eventually, maybe one of those things will become successful. And you just don't know in the beginning. And it requires a strong level of discipline, a strong level of work ethic. It requires all these different things that you need to maintain for a long period of time to actually reach that point when you will be successful and when these 3 different things you're trying will become successful. I'm really talking from personal experience, and I think that managing and juggling a bunch of different things is definitely hard, right? It's definitely difficult, and you definitely risk, maybe I could be going deeper, I could be doing more on just one thing and become successful. But I think oftentimes what happens is there's only so much you can do in certain avenues. For example, content creation, there's only so much you can do. And after a certain point, if you still have leftover time and energy and availability, you should pour it into something else. Don't ever doubt yourself. Don't ever think that you can't handle something else. Wait for burnout, wait for those kind of things to show you that you can't handle it. Don't just assume that it's too much for you. I would really want you guys to go out there and just try and fail, because when you try and fail, you realize that, yes, maybe you don't have the amazing capability to work like crazy hours and stuff, but you actually realize you can work for longer than you thought, or you can do things that you didn't think you could do before. And that is the most important insight, because when you start to stack those realizations on top of each other, you unlock this huge new dimension that is going to propel you towards success, because you start to understand that a lot of things are actually more possible than you thought they were. A lot of things you actually can do if you try really hard, you work really hard, and you constantly grow. And by trying out multiple different things, especially if you're young, you make up for your lack of years, because by doing different things at the same time, you're able to grow in your experience in multiple ways in the same time frame. If you just work doing one thing for a year, you will have a certain level of experience from your failures, from what you learn from your successes. But if you work on, let's say, 2 to 3 different businesses, they may not all be successful, but you will gain more experience from each of those different businesses or those different ventures or those different things you've tried out. And the main point is they're not all going to be successful, but you're going to learn so much from that, and that's going to set you up for your future success. A lot of these super successful people who have founded amazing firms and things, they have failed a lot before. They've failed with 5 different companies before. But it's like after they failed that, they start to learn all the different things they need to. So if you really want to speedrun success and you want to get there as fast as possible, you need to be doing as much as possible right now so you can build up your experience to the maximum. You can learn as much as possible. You can fail as much as possible, and you can just age your mind in a very beneficial way to gain the wisdom that's necessary to make the future correct decisions that will lead you towards success down the road.